Dak Prescott didn't just survive the pressure cooker of being the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. He owned it. For nearly a decade, he's been the guy who took the hits, answered questions, and carried the weight of a franchise obsessed with its own myth. But now, in a twist that feels more like a plot line from a Netflix docuseries than a front office decision, the whispers are getting louder. Dak might be done in Dallas. And the name replacing his? Shedeur Sanders. If your jaw just dropped, don't worry. You're not alone. The idea that the Cowboys could be prepping to move on from a proven veteran to roll the dice on a rookie who hasn't even touched an NFL field yet has sent shockwaves across the league.
If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed.
Not because Shedeur isn't talented. He is. Not because fans don't want excitement. They always do. But because this move doesn't feel like football strategy. It feels like a headline grab. And if there's one person who loves a headline more than a playoff win, it's Jerry Jones. You can almost hear the pitch now. Primetime legacy. Young gun quarterback. Social media goldmine. And let's be honest, putting Shedeur Sanders in a Cowboys jersey would break the internet. But here's the problem. It might also break the locker room, the team's rhythm, and whatever fragile quarterback identity Dallas has left. Because this isn't a team that's known for patience or subtlety. This is a franchise that turns every offseason into a spectacle, every roster decision into a media circus. And this would be the main event. Trading or benching Dak for Shedeur would flip the entire NFL script. And knowing Jerry, that's probably the point. Prescott, whether you love him or not, has been reliable. He's led, he's won, he's battled injuries and come back. But in Dallas, consistency doesn't always beat charisma. And that's where Shedeur steps in, young, dynamic, and coming in with more media momentum than any rookie in recent memory. It's not even about what he can do. It's about what people think he might do. And that kind of hype, in Dallas, it's a wildfire waiting to be lit. So what happens if this really goes down? Does Dak get traded mid-season? Do they try to develop Shedeur behind the scenes while the cameras follow his every step? Or is this just another episode in Jerry Jones's never-ending quest to stay at the center of the football universe? Whatever the answer, one thing is clear. The Cowboys aren't chasing a Super Bowl. They're chasing a storyline. And as usual, it's not about what's best for football. It's about what keeps them trending. So buckle up, because if Shedeur Sanders becomes the next quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, we're not just watching football anymore. We're watching the show. And once it starts, there's no turning it off. The Dallas Cowboys don't just play football. They manufacture headlines. And this latest storyline, it might be their biggest gamble yet. Rumors are swirling like a Texas tornado. Dak Prescott could be out, and Shedeur Sanders could be in. The quarterback carousel in Dallas has always been dramatic, but this twist has shaken the league, stunned the fan base, and turned every sports debate show into a non-stop debate on one question. Is Dallas chasing greatness or chasing clout? What started as a whisper is now a full-blown media storm. Multiple insiders are signaling that Jerry Jones is willing, if not eager, to make one of the most shocking quarterback transitions in recent NFL history. Dak Prescott, the longtime face of the franchise, may be traded or bench to make room for Shedeur Sanders, the rising star and son of NFL Hall of Famer Deion Sanders. And no one can agree whether this is genius or pure chaos. Let's start with what this means for Dak. Dak Prescott isn't just a starting quarterback. He is a Dallas Cowboys, or at least he has been for nearly a decade. Since 2016, he's led the team through highs, lows, injuries, playoff heartbreaks, and constant pressure. He's been a stabilizing force in a franchise that's rarely known for stability. No off-field issues. No drama. Just a QB who suits up, leads, and does his job. Even as the media drags him through every rough stretch and the fans flip between love and doubt depending on the scoreboard. But now, that era might be coming to an abrupt, unceremonious end. Reports suggest that the front office is considering moving on from Prescott, and not in the distant future. Soon. As in this season. As in, hand the reins of one of the most high-profile teams in the league to a rookie. And that rookie is Shedeur Sanders. Now, Shedeur is no stranger to spotlight. His college career, already high profile thanks to his last name, has made him one of the most talked about prospects in recent memory. With his talent, composure, and charisma, he's become a magnet for attention. And if you're Jerry Jones, who lives and breathes spectacle, Shedeur checks every box. Star power? Check. Media buzz? Check. Potential to shake up the entire NFL narrative? Double check. This is exactly the kind of move Jones is known for, bold, polarizing, and built for prime time. But the move is deeper than just a quarterback switch. This isn't just about stats or competition. This is about what Dallas has become under Jones's leadership. A franchise more obsessed with staying relevant than staying consistent. And nothing proves that more than being willing to move on from Prescott for a quarterback with no NFL experience. Prescott's not a declining vet. He's not a placeholder. He's not begging for a second chance. He's the leader of a team that has flirted with contention more than once under his watch. But now, the Cowboys are putting all that aside to chase a media moment. One that's flashy. One that's risky. One that will guarantee headlines, for better or worse. And that worse is very much on the table. Because whether this transition works or not, Dallas has already turned its quarterback room into a circus. You don't float this kind of rumor unless you're ready for the consequences. It shakes confidence. It splits the locker room. It divides fans. And right now, the Cowboys are fractured. Some fans are calling for the reset. They've seen enough from Dak and believe Shedeur brings a new energy, a new identity, a new chance at greatness. Others are outraged, feeling like the franchise is throwing away years of development and leadership for a rookie with more headlines and reps. Both sides are yelling, loudly. Meanwhile, the analysts are torn. Some are calling it bold and forward-thinking. Others are warning that Dallas is about to enter a new level of chaos. The NFL is unpredictable by nature, but replacing your proven quarterback with a rookie before he's even taken an NFL snap, that's not just risky. It's historic. And fueling it all is Jerry Jones, the ultimate showman. Jones has always treated the Cowboys like a hybrid of a football team and a television series. He understands that staying in the spotlight keeps the money flowing. And with Shedeur, he sees a way to extend the Cowboys' relevance beyond the field. It's a branding move as much as it is a football one. But this obsession with headlines is coming at a cost. The franchise is turning into a spectacle. Rumors aren't just part of the ecosystem. They are the ecosystem. Quarterbacks aren't developed. They're crowned. Seasons aren't built. They're scripted. And this latest move, this pivot toward Shedeur, could redefine what the Cowboys represent. Do they want to win Super Bowls? Or win press cycles? Because this decision, whether confirmed tomorrow or months from now, tells us one thing. Dallas is prioritizing entertainment over tradition. That's not an exaggeration. That's the direction this franchise has taken. A full identity shift. The same team that once stood for grit, blue-collar defense, and hard-earned victories is now more concerned with staying viral, staying loud, and staying unpredictable. And if you're Dak Prescott, how do you come back from this? Even if he stays on the roster, the trust is gone. The confidence has been undercut. Every time he throws an interception, fans and media will clamor for Shedeur. Every press conference, every post-game comment, every body language breakdown. It'll all be fuel for quarterback controversy fire. That pressure is unbearable. That spotlight is relentless. And for Shedeur, the stakes are no smaller. Walking into a franchise like Dallas with this level of hype is a challenge for any player. He hasn't put it down in the NFL yet. And already he's at the center of the loudest quarterback debate in the league. No transition, no easing in, no development arc. Just boom, expectations through the roof. The media will be brutal. The fans will be split. And the team? They'll have to adjust to the pressure of being a headline, not just a contender. This isn't just about the future of the quarterback position in Dallas. This is about the soul of the franchise. What kind of team does Dallas want to be? One that builds from the ground up, rewards consistency, and invests in development? Or one that gambles everything on the next big name, the next big story, the next big moment? That's what's at stake. not just a quarterback, a culture. And right now, that culture is dangerously close to spiraling into pure spectacle. Let us know what you think in the comments. Is this the beginning of a new chapter in Dallas, or just another headline in a franchise that's lost its way? And don't forget to subscribe, because if the Cowboys go through with this move, the drama is just getting started. If this Shedeur Sanders storyline actually plays out, it won't just be a quarterback change. It'll be a full-scale identity reboot for one of the most iconic, dysfunctional, and headline-addicted franchises in NFL history. The kind of seismic shift that leaves fans questioning everything they thought they knew about their team, about loyalty, about leadership, about winning. Because let's be real, the Cowboys aren't making football moves anymore. They're making entertainment decisions. This isn't about Shedeur's talent or potential. That part of the conversation is easy. He's a rising star with all the tools to succeed. His college career was high level, his presence is magnetic, and the ceiling is sky high. The issue isn't Shedeur. The issue is how Dallas is treating this like a marketing campaign instead of a roster decision. You don't float rumors about benching or trading your starting quarterback, especially one as established and respected as Dak Prescott, unless you're already operating in full spectacle mode. And the person driving that spectacle? Jerry Jones, master football theater. This is classic Jerry. Take a spark of speculation and pour gasoline on it until the entire league is ablaze. He doesn't do quiet transition plans. He does primetime drama. And nothing fuels drama like dangling your franchise quarterback over a cliff while the camera pans to his would-be replacement. Prescott isn't some placeholder. He's not a bridge QB. He's been the guy for nearly 10 years. He was drafted, developed, and held up as the Cowboys' future. And while he hasn't delivered a Super Bowl, he's been consistently good in a franchise that has been anything but consistent. But now, with the spotlight shifting, the hype engine roaring, and Jones chasing relevance like a wide receiver on a fade route, all of that is suddenly negotiable. This isn't just a competition. It's a public audition. And it's playing out on every screen, every feed, every talk show. Fans are left whiplashed. There's no clear answer, no official decision, just vibes, leaks, and chaos. Some are ready to move on from Dak. Others are furious that he's even being questioned. And the tension isn't just external, it's internal. Within the locker room, the coaching staff, the front office, everyone is holding their breath. Because the moment you pit two quarterbacks against each other like this, without structure, without communication, without respect, you fracture your foundation. Quarterback controversies aren't inherently toxic, but they become destructive when they're fueled by ego and spectacle instead of competition and performance. And let's be honest, Dallas has never handled subtlety well. Now throw in Shedeur Sanders, who, again, is not to blame for the storm around him, and it becomes a perfect storm of pressure. He's already under the NFL's brightest microscope before he's even entered the league. Every move, every throw, every gesture will be dissected not just as a player, but as a symbol of Dallas's gamble. And in Dallas, symbolism matters. Too much, because this team doesn't just lose games, they lose narratives. They collapse under the weight of their own expectations. They implode not just in the playoffs, but in the drama leading up to them. And bringing in a high-profile quarterback with a famous last name, media heat, and no NFL experience into that environment, it's a risk that goes beyond football. Even if Shedeur is everything he's been projected to be, even if he steps in and performs at a high level from day one, the weight of this moment could derail everything around him. The noise will be deafening. The comparisons will be constant. Every mistake will be met with, should have kept Dak. Every win will be met with, what happens when things go wrong? This isn't a clean slate. It's a controversy by design. And the Cowboys? They love it that way. This is the same team that has turned training camps into media events, injuries into soap operas, and press conferences into stage productions. It's not an accident. It's strategy. And Jerry Jones? He's not afraid of instability. He cultivates it. In his mind, keeping the Cowboys in conversation is just as important as keeping them in contention. And if that means turning the quarterback position into a constant headline generator, so be it. But here's the reality. No championship team operates like this. Stability at quarterback is everything. It's the foundation on which every Super Bowl contender is built. Mahomes has it. Burrow has it. Lamar has it. Josh Allen has it. Even teams without rings understand the importance of having a clear, undisputed leader under center. But in Dallas, they've decided to make that position a rotating stage. And that's not just risky, it's reckless. Because once you set this precedent, once you show that no matter what a quarterback does, he can be replaced by a buzzier name or a hotter narrative, you don't just alienate Dak. You alienate every future leader who might consider Dallas a destination. Who wants to be the face of a franchise that replaces you the second someone shinier walks by? Who wants to play for a team that treats its veterans like trending topics? And more importantly, how do you build trust in a locker room when everything feels like it for show? Veterans see this. Free agents see this. Other teams see this. This is bigger than Dak and Shedeur. This is about what the Cowboys are becoming. A team that trades legacy for likes, structure for sizzle, and game plans for gossip. And that's a dangerous identity to embrace in the NFL. Because while other teams are building towards championships, Dallas is building toward another episode. They're not lifting Lombardis. They're refreshing Twitter feeds. And if that doesn't make fans frustrated, it should. Not because Shedeur Sanders isn't talented. He absolutely is. But because the franchise isn't doing this the right way. They're not preparing the next generation. They're pitting it against the present generation in public view. And it's a lose-lose situation. If Dak stays and starts, the whispers never stop. If Shedeur takes over, the expectations become unrealistic. And if either one struggles, the franchise implodes under the weight of the story they created. That's what makes this so wild. It didn't have to be this way. The Cowboys could have let Shedeur develop. They could have given Dak one last season with full support, then made a transition based on performance and timing. They could have kept this in-house, let the locker room breathe, and protected their future. But they didn't, because they chose spectacle. And now, they're stuck with a quarterback controversy that will follow them for the rest of the season, no matter who starts, no matter who wins, no matter what happens on the field. Because in Dallas, the show is always louder than the scoreboard. It doesn't even matter if it's true. The rumor alone has done what years of actual football couldn't do. It's pushed the Dallas Cowboys right back into the center of the sports universe. Again, that's how powerful the Cowboys brand is. That's how loud Jerry Jones's circus can get. All it took was a possibility of Dak Prescott being replaced by Shedeur Sanders. And the entire NFL went into overdrive. Not a trade, not a press release, not even a confirmation. Just a whisper. And that whisper turned into a megaphone. The debate is everywhere. Pundits are screaming across desks. Fans are melting down on Twitter, and every sports radio segment from Dallas to Denver is dissecting this thing like it's already happened. And for Jerry Jones, that's mission accomplished. Because this is how the Cowboys operate now. Controversy isn't a side effect. It's a strategy. Whether Dak actually gets benched or traded doesn't even matter in the short term. The story is alive. The drama is real. And in 2025, that's currency. Ratings. Clicks. Engagement. Headlines. It's all part of the playbook. But if you strip away the hype and look at the core of this moment, it's actually kind of sad. Because underneath the entertainment machine, you've got a quarterback, Dak Prescott, who's being dragged through this mess with zero control over it. Let's be clear, Dak didn't fall off. He didn't demand a trade. He didn't flame out in some humiliating playoff exit. He's not trending for bad behavior. He's not calling out coaches or clashing with teammates. He's just there, being quietly excellent in the most chaotic franchise in football. And what's his reward? Getting replaced in headlines by a player who hasn't taken a single NFL snap. There's something almost poetic about it. Dak, who gave the Cowboys nearly a decade of leadership, who took them through injury-riddled seasons, who was supposedly a guy who restored glory to America's team, now finds himself reduced to a trade chip or a transitional figure, all for the idea of what Shedeur Sanders could be. And again, this is a knock on Shedeur. He's clearly a high-caliber prospect with a massive ceiling. But the NFL is not a highlight reel. It's not about promise. It's about performance. And Dallas is treating the entire quarterback position like it's part of a brand rollout. You don't make a move like this unless you're prioritizing the story over the strategy, which is exactly what's happening. And this story, it's a franchise-defining one. Because once you start making quarterback decisions based on buzz and headlines, where does it stop? Who's next? What's the plan? Are we developing talent, or are we casting characters? The Cowboys used to be about legacy. They were built on names like Aikman, Irvin, Smith, built on toughness, grit, consistency, and results. Now, they're built on potential and plot twists. This moment is a microcosm of what the modern Cowboys have become. A team constantly on the verge of greatness, constantly held back by its own addiction to drama. And it's not just about quarterbacks. It's everywhere. Coaches on short leashes. Coordinators shuffled like a deck of cards. Star players used as marketing tools until they're no longer useful. Dallas doesn't evolve. It reacts to media pressure, to fan noise, to whatever will get them trending on a Monday morning. And that's what makes this Shedeur situation so dangerous. Because even if he does become the guy, even if he walks in and delivers big moments, dazzling throws, and wins games, he's already set up to fail in one very specific way. Expectations. Not just normal expectations. Not rookie expectations. Cowboys expectations. They're going to expect magic. They're going to expect instant chemistry, immediate wins, and a highlight reel every Sunday. And if he can't deliver that right out of the gate, the same people cheering for him now will be questioning the move by week 5. That's what Dallas does. It builds you up, puts your name in lights, and then leaves you to figure out while the spotlight burns hotter by the second. So whether this move actually happens or not, the damage is already done. Dak Prescott has been disrespected. Shedeur Sanders has been prematurely crowned. The fan base is split. The media is feeding off the drama. And Jerry Jones, sitting back and watching the show he produced unfold. This isn't football anymore. This is a weekly soap opera with turf and shoulder pads. So, Cowboys fans, what now? Do you double down on the future? Embrace the Sanders era and hope it brings something fresh to a team stuck in mediocrity? Or do you ride with a guy who's already been through the fire? The guy who gave you stability, leadership, and the closest thing to hope this team has seen in a decade? Either way, the Cowboys are once again the story. Not for what they've won, but for what they've become. Drop your take in the comments. Is Jerry making a power move or just playing with fire? And don't forget to subscribe, because in Dallas, the headlines never sleep.